And welcome back, everybody, to 3D Hangouts. I'm Noe Pedro Ruiz, designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week, Mr. Pedro.
Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is a show we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you folks. Got a great show for you. Got a lot of cosplay stuff. First look at Mavic, and we'll just start the show. Let's start off with the coupon code this week, Pixel Chair.
Pixel Chair gets you 10% off on your Adafruit order. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight, and it works on everything but gift certificates and software. You see in the chat where people were trying to bet on what the coupon code was this week.
Yep, that's it.
What was the closest?
Did anybody win the special prize?
Shoutouts to Yanni, Ryder, and Kirby in the
guys.
chat.
Hope you guys had a good Halloween, which was on Monday. We certainly did, and we will keep on cranking out Halloween projects. Yes, Halloween
all them
all
cosplay projects.
Yes, cosplay is all year round. Awesome stuff. We still got the same deals going on, guys. $200 or more, you get free shipping here in the States. And for the folks in New York City, we have this thing called same-day delivery. Adabot will come and deliver your black box. Good stuff. We also have Adafruit Daily. It just went out. It comes out every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This is, of course, the newsletters that we have. They're all segmented into different categories. You get to opt into it if you want some tips and stuff. I definitely recommend the Maker Business stuff because there's some original posts coming from there. So let's start the show with overhead. Here's the overhead. There's my hand. Woo.
So this week we are releasing the glowing LED chair.
The glowing LED chair. Many names for it. The unicorn chair, the Voronoi, the cheese chair.
Mostly because of the rainbow default strand test that we used to film with it.
You want to connect to it?
Yeah, I'll connect
All
to
right.
it.
This is running the Adafruit Feather 32U4 Bluefruit LE board. Microcontroller. It has Bluetooth Low Energy built into it. Very easy to get started with it. The demo sketch that we're running lets you trigger different animations. It lets you use the color picker. And besides the microcontroller, we have a 60 count NeoPixel. I am just trying to figure out this here. There we go.
Turn down the...
Turn down the brightness.
Yeah, so we have this mounted facing downward so that the translucent filament acts as a giant diffuser to get the color all nice and spread out.
Yep.
And it looks very nice in real life.
Yeah, it looks great.
Looks blown out on video.
When we first turned it on, we were like, whoa, this thing totally lit up.
Amazing,
looks great.
Yeah.
So Pedro designed this in Fusion 360. It features some standoffs on the bottom for the microcontroller.
Yeah, so we got some nice little mounts here that elevate it. Now, originally I was going to put the battery on the bottom of there, but I won the maker lottery in terms of the way that all of the holes were actually used to fit all the electronics inside, like the slide switch easily fits on here. You just jam that in there and it holds on very tight. And then the battery actually has one of these holes that are perfect size to fit this inside there. So we have little couplings to add the 7/8 inch dowels that we cut down, so you can have this be any height that you want. And then we have a little triangular support frame structure for the legs that keep it at about a 15-degree tilt to have this outwards like that.
Woo!
Very nice. And then for the legs, we're using Ninja Flex little stoppers here that we printed out so that you don't slide around on the ground, or if you're outside, like on the grass or dirt, it doesn't sink into the ground.
Yep. So the way to make this all work is really having enough infill and having a big enough print volume to be able to print this whole thing. How big is this in terms of the X and Y?
So it's 12 by 12.
So it's 12 by 12. We printed this on the Type A machines, Pro Series 1, right? Mm-hmm. And it's printed in regular PLA. It's transparent PLA, translucent PLA, opaque PLA. Pick one. Yeah, so do you want to take a look at some slicer stuff? So share with the folks the settings that made this structure sound steady. We did do some various printing tests with it, and before we printed with regular infill. You know, the regular infill just kind of stacks up. It doesn't change over time. So trying to print it fast and quick, you did what, a 5% infill? What was it, 10% infill?
6% infill.
A 6% infill.
And that lasted for a while, maybe
it did.
like 15 minutes before one of the walls for the bottom of this actually gave in.
Okay.
So bumped it up to 30%, and then an interesting thing that I saw that the Type A Cura profile was doing for something they call 3D infill was they were changing the angle offset. So as it's printing, it's like changing the angle, so sort of rotating around. And
so let's see that here.
Inside of Simplify 3D, I added the offsets for that to 45, 60, 90, and 120 degrees. So each infill that's printing on top is sort of
it's changing the angle, and it's creating a more stronger structure. So it's a bit of a lattice infill that's being rotated as it goes up in the Z.
So that definitely creates a lot better structure inside of there.
Good stuff. So
another thing that I had to do.
First time we ever had to do that, because it's really requires you're 150 to 200 pounds. It can hold it. You can stand on it.
You can probably do more. Yeah, we haven't tried multiple people standing on it.
Right. But and what did you print the infill in at the final result? 30 infill.
30% infill.
I'm looking at the thing. Another cool thing Pedro used is Z-Hop. A really big Z-Hop, 2 millimeter Z-Hop. What is that about?
Yeah, so when the printer is, when the head's moving around so fast, it has a tendency to strike some of the layers if some of the infill is actually curling up, or in our case, the edges, because I wanted to make sure that all of the sides were not sharp and they were nice and beveled out.
That's a big fillet.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I forget what it is, like 50 or something like that, but it's
it is massive. It is from here to here is the fillet. That's how much of a curvature you have.
Yeah,
so you have
a lot of make sure that this was nice and soft and or smooth, and because of that, it has a tendency to curl up on the edges, and when you're moving the head so fast around there, it can smash into it and misalign the printer. So a lot of people call that a strike.
Let me see here.
And you can kind of see on this one, it sort of skipped a tiny bit, but it was happening a lot to where I had to make sure that for each layer that it was printing, it would retract downwards by 2 millimeters, move the head over, go back down,
the Z-Hop that we're talking about. Okay, cool. This was printed with no support material, and this is the flat side, right? So these little channels here were actually, you can kind of see there's a little bit of filament there, but that's because there's no infill. It kind of caught itself.
Yeah,
so that's really cool. And you did a large brim. You can kind of see the brim here. I know it's opaque, but there's a little bit of a skin flake here. That is the brim. It helps keep
it was definitely
the print down, and it makes it much better adhesion. So
to the back,
big brim, Z-Hop, 3D infill, all that went into making this a reliable chair. So now we're gonna chuck it across the room and see if it breaks.
No,
just kidding.
So just to show that how deep the part
the
is.
cavity goes. It doesn't bother you when you sit down. You don't feel it because of the way it's inset, and it recesses into the seat itself. And that's another way that it diffuses the light, because it's like right in there.
Yeah, should probably.
How many millimeters is in there? Deep, do you think that
I don't
channel
remember.
is? Like
but it's
3,
pretty deep.
5, probably like 5.
It's something that I didn't mention we didn't mention in the video. We got questions about that, like
can you feel you're gonna damage no, you're not gonna damage.
It's
and we also printed a cover so that like water and stuff won't get into it.
Yeah, so there's another ring that goes inside there. You can kind of see it on the top there.
Here, let me
turn that off.
There you go.
There you go, yeah. So there's a cap that goes right on top of that too.
And it's flush with this surface here, so it feels great.
So one of the considerations there too. And if you want to play with these NeoPixel rings, there is one thing that we have to always remind people. They do not come as a full set, so you have to order each quarter piece of these to build the whole ring. And then like we show in the guide, you have to, one of the ways you can connect these together is by sliding the solder across both pads to connect those two.
And I'm just having fun with this.
So a lot of cool projects you can build with this. One of the first ones that we built, I think like 2 years ago, was a light ring for your camera. You can just fit this right over your lens and act like a nice little ring light. So it gives that nice little cool ring effect on your eyes.
Yeah. We have new versions of the NeoPixels, which have cool and warm LEDs built into them. So you can get a much better, more accurate color temperature. So be sure to check those out.
It'll actually save on battery power as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because right now this is just RGB, so to get white, you have to turn all the values on.
So again, you can get this design as well. This little thing fits right onto the hot shoe mount on your camera. You just slide that over and the camera lens will pop out of there.
Right. As you were talking about the rings, one quick tip is you might want to get additional helping hand to assemble this, because it's fairly large, and since the only thing that's keeping these together is solder, you kind of need to be careful with it. It can bend, it can flex. So there you go. And just use a lot of solder on the pads to get a nice, just to kind of scoop them together and connect them properly. And there's various holes all over I think each one has like a ground. They're not even holes, right?
No, they're not holes,
Holy
it's just
crap.
pads.
I
Yeah.
just noticed that. They're not holes. They're not pins. They're just pads.
Yep.
Okay. Some things to consider. And the little slide switch connects to enable and ground, just like the other boards.
Yep.
Coolio. And it looks great. This looked awesome at night with our tall grass.
Looks like a little pixel fairy
Yeah,
scene.
Looks like there's a little gnome that's going to come out there.
Sit on it or whatever. Anyway, good stuff. Cool project.
Thank you, Gadgetoid. Yes, it is flipping beautiful.
It's
Especially in real
nice,
life, it looks so nice.
It looks great.
I think you have a shot of, we used it during Halloween.
Yeah, it was our sort of chair and holder thing, mini table for our Halloween bucket thing. We had a circuit playground inside of our sort of our pumpkin, so it was all decked out.
So everybody who came up immediately knew that you were Fix-A-Felix.
Yeah,
so that was good.
That was great. And everyone's like, "Where'd you get the chair, man? Where'd you buy the chair? Where can I get one?" It's like, hey, you got to build it yourself, 3D print it first of all. But no, it was received very well. It was like the brightest thing in the neighborhood, like these two glowing orbs from a distance. Like, what is that? We got to check that out. So we had a lot of fun with it. It very, very cool attraction that you get with the chair. If you have a convention or something, hey, this thing's cool. Hopefully this gets you guys inspired to make all sorts of different smart, glowy furniture things. Yeah. All right. Check out the guide.
Download to see a bigger ring. You could actually use a NeoPixel strip. It's just that the way that they're angled, they're gonna. If you curve it into a circle, it's gonna be on the side though. It's not gonna be pointing straight down. That's why the rings are.
I suppose you can make a cube. I've seen, because if you search LED chair on Amazon, you actually find some LED cubes. Yeah. So you could try to make one of those. Would be pretty neat.
Yeah. 3D printed glowing pumpkin chairs. It's a good idea for next year.
Yeah. I like it. Another thing we'll talk about. So this is Voronoi, right? How did you make the Voronoi? Check this out.
For Fusion 360, there's this really nice plugin that they link to.
Yeah, it's called,
oddly enough, Voronoi Sketch Generator.
This is a third-party plugin, but it's really easy to install.
It's not really third-party. I think it's from Autodesk.
Is it?
Right there.
I think it's a developer from within who made it. There's credit and stuff. So anyway, yeah, you click a button and it generates that stuff, the Voronoi pattern.
Yeah, it has a couple of different settings, like how many,
number of
width,
cells.
area.
Okay, cool. Height, width, scale.
And I just use those to do a Boolean on a
Boolean
on a cylinder that I then filleted, and you can check all of the history inside of the Fusion 360 file that is linked in the Learn doc.
Oh, this looks
check
cool.
that out.
They put it on a.
Which is a lot easier to use than what I was originally building this inside of Maya. The way that you do the Voronoi generator inside there is
that thing's crummy. Oh, man.
And pretty old, yeah.
All the tessellations.
Definitely the way for this.
Anyway, good stuff. So check this out. We'll have it linked below, or you can just type in Voronoi Sketch Generator, and they have their own app store.
There you go.
Cool. That's it for the chair. Moving on. What are you prototyping this week? Well, next week, rather. I'm working on a cosplay prop. You may have seen it on Instagram. I had it in many pieces. This is called the Stormflower. This is from the anime Ruby, and there's a character named Lyran who has 2 of these. This is a cross between a handgun and a blade. And what I have is a NeoPixel in the barrel, electronics in the magazine, and the trigger, there's actually a button behind the trigger, so it actually it actuates the button. And right now I have the circuit turned off, but next week I'll show you guys it fully working. The project video and the guide will be out. And this is just a really cool way to get triggered flash NeoPixel animations via a push button. So it's really easy, a great way to add that extra depth to your cosplay weapons. And the way the code runs is, I can't wait to share with you guys. It's really cool. It uses linear interpolation math to fade RGB color gradients over a period of time. Very, very cool stuff. Really easy to adapt the sketch for all sorts of different projects. But yeah, this is going to be fun. That's next week's project. I'll share the circuit and the code with you guys next week, but it's coming together very nicely. All 3D printed, all the time.
That's right. The instead of Halloween, we just switched to calling it just cosplay now.
Yeah. And then another thing I wanted to share with you guys is actually take a look at, if you haven't seen John Park's projects, be sure to check his project out on the Learning System. What I wanted to bring up is last week's project. He used a circuit playground to make some prop effects. So he made sort of 2 different ones. He made a magic wand that's fully 3D printed and designed, I think in Rhino, or maybe it was Maya. And then he added a circuit playground to this sort of Nerf foam sword, which is really cool. Great way, easy way, probably the easiest way to get lighting effects and sounds via an accelerometer, all contained, no soldering required, $20 board, very, very cool. So what I have here, so here's the code that you can download, but I just wanted to share with you guys the demo. This is called the Night Sword demo. So you probably, so the circuit playground has a very, very small piezo right here, and it's a little bit quiet, but as I swing it, it lights up, and it makes that sound, that swinging sound. And if you strike it, it makes a louder clashing sound. So this is a great example of using the NeoPixels and the accelerometer and the piezo to achieve this awesome effect, because it's able to do all this at the same time. And there's 3 different variants of this type of code. There's a magic wand, there's this knight sword, and there's a laser sword. We'll call it the laser sword. Can you hear that, guys?
People are saying your mic is super loud.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. I'll talk later. So, that's it. That's the Circuit Playground cosplay prop.
Very easy way
Great.
to add sound effects and lighting to your cosplay props. Check
Yeah.
that out.
It's super loud or super bad? Oh, super
loud, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's the same. Maybe it's the way I positioned it.
Probably.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. I just made everybody go deaf. So this is a really awesome project. Again, if you're looking for a really easy way to get into electronics, check out the Circuit Playground board. It's only $20, and it has everything you could ever want. Accelerometer, temperature sensor, a speaker, lights, buttons, camera action. Good stuff. And shout out to John Park for coming up with such a great project, and shout out to Phil B too, who's behind the wizardry, the coverage wizardry. Okay, I wanted to talk about real quick. Did you got something?
No, I was going to say, speaking of cosplay, Pinshape.
Oh, you want to go to that? Okay, let's go to that. Pinshape. Hey guys, remember Pinshape? They have the cosplay design. I talked about this last week. It's still going on. It's got 21 days, about a month left. Here's your chance to win an Ultimaker 3. So if you're into the cosplay stuff, if you're a prop maker, thinking about 3D printing, you could definitely win an Ultimaker 3 or some filament. There's a lot of great entries already. So you can check out, for inspiration-wise, you can see what all the folks are making. Claws, Wolverine claws, blasters, all sorts of weapons. That's a cool punk necklace. More guns, Nuka-Cola from Fallout, Skeletor mask. Lots of great stuff. So, oh yeah, look, here you go. Arc's reactor, Iron Man's arc reactor. Cool. Good stuff. So check it out. Just go to pinshape.com/contest, and there's all sorts of other contests as well. So be sure to check them out. I'll be sure to be voting. Yep, there's 2 of them going on right now. Cool. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is PiGRRL. There's an update for the PiGRRL 2 image for Pi 2 and Pi 3. It now runs RetroPie 4. We also have a better method for the controls. It's using a really easy to use config file, so there's no need to run the retrogame.c file over and over again if you want to keep remapping your buttons. Now it's a lot easier. So check that out. Pretty straightforward. The image is now like 900 megabytes, which is awesome. We squeezed it down. It has an auto file expansion built into it. All the keys are reconfigured, of course, and all the glitches that were in the Pi TFT are now resolved, so it's really solid now. Yeah, great stuff. So if you have PiGRRL 2, back up your games and get them on here. One thing I want to note, if you are starting it from scratch, this threw me off when I was testing it. It no longer comes with ports. Usually RetroGame came with a couple ports like Doom and Quake and the like, but now it doesn't. So not too bad though. They did that just so that you can, so the file would be a lot smaller. Really easy to install it though, since the RetroGame settings menu is really good now. So you can click on install, where is it? Manage packages. Then you navigate to optional packages, and then you get a menu of all the available ports, right? So they have Quake 3, Doom, that's where you're gonna find everything. So don't fret because it threw me off. I was like, this is broken, there's no games here. It's not broken, it just doesn't come with games anymore. You can install them right within the retro, or the emulation station RetroPie setup menu. It's all there, you just have to install it. Not too bad. Good stuff. So if you're building a custom one, this is still the #1 guide to check out, Philby's guide. And then for the PiGRRL image itself, it's up here. Yeah. There's also an update to the PiGRRL 0 image, I believe. And I'm going to try to work on the Pocket PiGRRL image, because that one's still outdated. Not outdated, but it's not the latest, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this should be giving some hints at PiGRRL 3 might be on the works soon?
Maybe, yeah. I still have to, finish some stuff. Cool. So if you want to pick up anything, don't forget Pixel, chair. How's my mic? Is it still bad?
And one thing to note too, if you are getting ready to buy gifts for the holiday season, you probably want to do that now, since near the end of the year, everything will be out of stock. So you're going to jump on this quickly.
Yeah.
Use coupon code Pixel Chair. Start building your present cash up.
Present cash?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We have John Mike MC saying, is it updated for the PiGRRL 0?
Yes, there is an update for PiGRRL 0 as well. Check that out. And all of our images have dates on them, so if your image is at an earlier date, then the chances are it's updated.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so moving right along, wouldn't be a show if we didn't have an unboxing video. This week on Shop Talk, we're taking a look at super popular DJI Mavic Pro. Everybody's flipping out that their shipment dates got slipped a little bit, but I was lucky enough to get mine a couple days earlier than expected. Able to test this guy out. So everything came in this box. So I got the Fly More combo, which comes with extra batteries, more props, some adapters. So we'll take a look at those. Inside of Fly More combo, which was one of the first things that got delayed because of all of the extra accessories I had to make to ship out, Comes with a nice little 4 hub charger for the batteries, and I got 2 extra ones that come with that. And weirdly enough, it comes with this weird little adapter that you can charge your mobile phones as well, which I don't know if I'll ever use that, since we normally have spare batteries. It comes with a car charger, so if you're on the go, you can charge a battery as you keep flying, and extra props as well. I wouldn't be lying if we didn't say that we're not into bags, since we have like so many like camera bags, like for different occasions, like for, you know, quick on the go, more for like traveling, we have to take a ton of equipment. This bag is really nice because it's able to fit all that stuff inside this itty bitty little, what is almost a, what are those, like a fanny pack almost, the size of it, but it's able to fit the nice tiny little drone inside there, controller right next to it, spare batteries on the side, and a couple of the cables inside there. I have it right here. And then the main event, super tiny little Mavic Pro drone inside this little box here. So if you guys haven't seen before, it is a foldable drone with all the features of a Phantom 4 in the tiny little package, and they even added more features like extra cameras, more processors inside there, and all inside of this little travel friendly drone. Yeah, I know the camera is no bigger than what a cell phone camera is, with some low light capabilities. Need to test that out still, but wow, I was just so impressed with the build quality of it, and we'll show some fly tests later in some pretty heavy gusts of winds that were happening when we took this out. You were impressed with the controller here.
Yeah, it's really nice and compact.
Feels like the weight of it does not feel like, you know, it's going to break apart or anything like that. And really like how it feels in your hand. It's able to hold up to an iPad mini. Now, one of the projects is, of course, going to be able to mount a full-size iPad in there, so making a little adapter for that. And here's some of the initial flying tests. So it was pretty windy outside when we took this up. You could see that it was able to maintain a nice level while the Phantom 4 is sort of tilting on its side there, trying to struggle in the wind there because the Mavic is pretty aerodynamic. So we took this out to the beach and we're able to get some very awesome footage. One of the things that you just have to remember is to tap to focus. So because it has a variable focus, you just want to make sure that you are able to tap on what you want to focus on for each shot. So just made sure of that, and the images are coming out really crisp. There was absolutely no color grading or any editing like that. It didn't adjust anything inside. This is straight off the camera going up to Instagram, and wow, looks like, you know, very nice dynamic range for the exposure settings that were all default auto set on everything. So super impressed with that. And if we go over to the overhead, we can take a look at this tiny little guy. Comes inside this little pack here, and oh man, every trip now that we take, is all like scheduled around, oh, where can we go fly with it, like on the way or after. Here's a little guy, nice little fold out arms, which again, it just makes it so portable to take around with you. Little foldable legs. And one of the first things that I noticed was with the legs on the back, there's these little loops that we could definitely use for mounting, say like a claw or something. So if we like want to drop something from the sky, you know, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, last week you made a UFO tractor beam.
Yes, the tractor beam.
NeoPixel ring.
Yeah, and I'm happy to say that the USB port on the side, I want to say is, it's on this side right here, does you are able to utilize the power that you're able to get out of here. So as soon as you turn, I'm not going to turn it on here, but you can power a trinket and a NeoPixel ring off of there. So you are able to get power out of there. So that's good. And then other things that we want to make, because the legs are so short, if you're like around like a tall grass or like at the beach, I had to have like a little landing pad for it, so it wouldn't, you know, get the sand all up in there. have some sort of like foldable legs or something that you could bring with you to elevate this to take off.
These are sort of the legs, though. I noticed that.
Yeah, these are the legs right here.
This
These
really
and then
doesn't-
this right
yeah,
here.
I mean, so it's a little bit not unbalanced, but that's just the way that since the front wings
sort of
are a
elevated
bit
like that.
elevated more.
Now you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
sort
they're
of
not
like
on
at
the
an
same
angle.
plane. Yeah. Okay.
It's about 10 degree sort of slope on that. But yeah, a couple projects we have in mind for that. Of course, the iPad mount for here, or any other bigger tablet, because you definitely, especially if you're using this for filming, you want to have a bigger display to look at what you're filming. We're able to suck power out of this, so that's good. And then the landing gear, maybe make some claws for it. And I'm sure other cool projects will pop into our head as we're using this little guy around. Again, super impressed with the battery life. Lasted like 18 minutes. On a windy day, everything came out very nice and stabilized, so definitely recommend it if you're in the market for a new drone. One that you could pocket, take around with you.
Your mic is muffling.
I think this is the one to get.
Your mic is muffling, apparently.
Oh yeah, just went down. Sorry about that.
Moving all like mic problems all day. No. Okay, so I just did a quick search and Thingiverse and saw that, yeah, folks are making adapters so they can fit their tablets.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to do?
That's exactly what I'm going to do. So the
Yep.
different way that we're going to go, instead of reusing or repurposing the mount that are that's found on the Phantom 4 controller, is this what's up right now on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they're just reusing the Phantom 4.
Let's say you don't have a Phantom 4.
Or if you want to use both of them at the same time.
Right.
So my thought is to go with a iPad case that has the little mount already built into that. So you can just print out the little, the block that they're using to hold inside the controller, and then that will have the adapter that will slide into the iPad case.
Cool. And also shout out to Glitch. He made a Mavic clone. Mavic clone.
A lot of people have actually been
That's great,
taking
yeah.
inspiration from the nice foldable design.
Yeah, it works. He has a flight test, a maiden flight test up.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's a small and compact.
It's definitely
It's a great
sweet
design.
design to save on size and portability. Very cool.
Check it out. Good stuff. You'll be seeing some more drone projects.
Very cool.
Cool. All right. I think that's it for Shop Talk.
I
Did we
believe
cover
so.
everything? I think we covered everything. Okay, cool. Well, and now it's time for Q&A. Q&A, here we go. All right.
Okay, in the Twitch chat, we have Shotgun asking, what is the best $500 printer? So I would say under $500, the PrinterBot Play, unfortunately, was just discontinued from
What?
from PrinterBot. Yeah, I saw
Really?
it in the one of the either
The
on
Play is
Google
$500
Plus.
bucks?
No, under $500.
The Play
But
is under $500 bucks?
that's not the point I'm trying to get across. Is that it got discontinued. So
I don't think it's
I don't know what
$500
else.
bucks.
It's under $500.
Really? Sorry, guys. I don't know. Okay.
So around $500. I don't know what else.
I'm
too.
testing the Delta Go, which is $500 bucks.
Yeah.
The Aries is also $500 bucks.
Both of those are
what is it?
deltas, so that's something to keep in mind.
The M3D is under. It's $550, I believe. What else do we have? It's hard to get a good quick list for you right now, but I mean, search around. There's tons of reviews on YouTube. Is the Duplicator i3 under $500 bucks? I believe so, and it has a
Let's say maybe.
fairly good build volume. So the Duplicator i3 is from Wanho, so you might want to check that out as well. There is some good reviews floating around. But yeah, there's a lot of options. Cool.
People asking, is NeoPixels an Adafruit brand?
Yeah, I mean, it's using a standard chipset that's called the WS2812 chipset. But our brand is really just a PCB and the board.
The library too.
Yeah, and of course the NeoPixel library. So that's why we branded them as NeoPixels.
Is Ultimaker 2 Go a good starter printer? I would say probably, yeah. It has a small build plate. It's not heated, so you'll have to use some blue tape.
Yeah.
You can get it at a good price. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I think the Aries is $550 and it has a heated bed and a decent build volume. Worth checking out. Mm-hmm. Okay, Kirby's got a great tip. He's saying that you can get a refurbished printer bot plate for $300 on their website.
Very cool.
Discontinued, but get them while they're hot, I guess.
Yeah, it's really a good price actually. I think they're like
so
bucks.
John's got a great question. Why is the Circuit Playground, why is it called the Developer Edition? Are there different editions coming out? Yes, there are different editions coming out. We call it the Developer version because it's the first of its kind, and we'd rather have people know that it is
still in beta, still testing around.
Still a
something might be moved
edition.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, things are to change, certainly. We don't know when new ones are, but the next one is going to be an SAMD version, which will be a lot faster and more flash.
Mic again too.
Oh man,
it's the mic muffling shit. Ever since we got back from Maker Faire, because we had to add those little what's it called, the wind guards. So we like messed with the way that they were mounted onto these little clips. That's probably what's messing with it. We'll have to adjust that after the show.
Writer is asking, are there any downsides to using blue tape? The only downside that I see is that when you have a print that's stuck on there, that's stuck on the blue tape, sometimes the only way to get it off is to scuff up the blue tape and rip it up. So you try to reuse the blue tape as much as you can, but you can only do that so many times.
And sometimes you actually get impressions from the blue tape onto the bottom of your model. So if the bottom of the model is what the front-facing part of your design is going to be, you can get like that blue sort of
surface. Like a little bit will come off onto it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to scrape it off, or when you take there's also I don't want to complain, but I'd rather use a build plate. Skin, zebra printed Z skin, build tack, glass. Really into glass right now. Most of the prints that I make now are all on a glass heated glass bed. It works wonders. Comes out real glossy.
John MC is saying that the Monoprice $199 3D printer is pretty good. So Phil B actually has one of these, and he's been really impressed with the quality that's coming out of it.
Thank you, John. That is a great point. The Monoprice printer surprisingly just works, and it works well.
Yeah,
for $200. Check that out. We should check it out.
Yeah, if it has Phil B's recommendation, because he usually has.
He had the M3D and it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, the M3D didn't work out. Had some deltas that didn't work out.
Yeah. He has a Flash Forge right now.
Yeah,
but the Monoprice is just something to kick around. Good. Yeah. Thank you, John, for reminding us. Yes.
Benji is asking about the PEI build plates.
Does it work with PET? I'm not sure. Kirby, do you know if it works with PET? Do you use PET much? The PEI is a standard surface that comes with all the Lulz bots. I love it. It's really good stuff. Unfortunately, none of our printers have it here, but that's one of the benefits of that you'll get out of a Lulz bot is it's just got a really nice
comes with it,
build surface. Nobody else really does it. It doesn't come stock with anyone. Yeah, I don't know of any other printers that use it.
Joseph is asking about VeriSlice from Autodesk for Simplify 3D.
Oh man,
that was a really cool demo, and I can't believe nobody's done that yet. I'm sure
they have. They just haven't kind of.
You have to run it through like a processing
script
and all this funkiness.
All this funkiness. That's the way you got to do it. There's no streamlined way to do it.
I just wish there was like a volume box where you can like go from here to there like a selector. You know what I mean? And go from here to here. Just do like 200 microns.
It's a lot of work to do this, but
150 microns.
It's great that Autodesk is like kind of playing with it. They made it instructable, so you can do it. You can achieve this.
And if people don't know what we're talking about, search for that video. VeriSlice.
Right, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's how we found it. Yeah, I'm not sure if we shared it. I'm gonna have to go back and share it since I didn't do any blog posts this week. Pedro did well.
Yeah, so it's basically doing different layer heights for different.
It's an optimization of an object. So if your object has an area that doesn't require a lot of layers, then it can make thicker layers, and then for the detailed areas, So yeah, variable layer heights is basically what it's called. Yeah, so vari slice.
You know what would be one step above VeriSlice?
Yeah.
It's kind of like call it VeriSlice Plus, where you're doing that plus using different size nozzles. Like for the Sigma, if you could use the independent nozzles, one would be like a 0.4 millimeter nozzle for like all the detail that'll do like 50 microns, and then a 6 millimeter nozzle that'll do like 3 millimeter height. Or a 0.2 millimeter height.
You raised an interesting thing where you're combining something that's made for a DLP printer with an FDM printer.
Yeah.
This VeriSlice, I don't think it's for FDM. I think
that would
it's
be cool,
just
right?
for, well, I mean, yeah, it would be cool, but okay.
I'm sure you can do it with different processes inside of Simplify 3D. But
We'll try it out. We should really try it out and see what we get with our resin printer. Is my mic still messed up?
Yes, it just went inside.
No, it's fine. Oh man, sorry about that.
Is there a printer or a Print and Z plate for the Ultimaker Go?
So yes, you can go on Print and Z's website and have custom order a custom size. They have circular ones for deltas as well. So yeah, go check out.
So we
Wayne
have
on Print and Z.
We have some for the M3D, the Print and Z plates, but I don't know what the size of the Ultimaker Go. Just check out the build size for that. Maybe it's the same size.
Yeah.
We do have those. You can use the 10% off discount code there.
Right.
Get those there.
Or just get it straight from Wayne. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Also, Benji's saying that you can use soap and water to get the blue tape off your print.
That's a good tip. Soap and water, folks.
Oh yeah, good point. John, reminding people there is a Barnes & Noble Mini Maker Faire at stores nationwide this weekend. We should definitely go check one out.
Yeah.
Get some footage there. So
get all the books.
Go check those out.
Cool. Thanks, John.
And Chris Kruger is also saying that the Monoprice Mini is really good too.
We got to get this thing. We got to check it out.
All right, I think that's going to be it for this show this week.
Yeah. Search around, writer, for the Mini Maker Faire. I'm sure you'll find something.
Oh, yeah. And can't forget to say happy birthday to Noe. Today is his birthday.
Oh, where's all the
another
confetti?
year?
Another year older, another
we
year.
Should like chop up some filament and use that as the confetti.
That's terrible. That's a terrible idea.
I know.
All right, well, I'm going to go eat some cake and, get back on this project.
Real quick, Joseph is asking, Ultimaker 3 conductive filament. Yes, that was actually the first test that I tried using our little tweezer design to light up a
check out
LED.
check out our 2 weeks ago, was it? When the Ultimaker came out? Yeah.
Yep, it was one of the first dual prints that I did on it. So
Whoa,
check those out.
Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Appreciate it. Hey, Simon is in here. Hey, Simon. Okay. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in, hanging out with us. Again, don't forget, if you do want to support the show, you can do so and support your maker habits by using coupon code PixelChair.
Cool.
Yay.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments on any suggestions you guys want to see for future projects.
Yeah. Pedro said it. 3D Thursday. We'll see you guys next week.
Hopefully with better microphones.
I mean, they're it's just the position of them.
No, microphone positions.
All right. Cool. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Good luck with all your maker stuff. We're out of here. Bye.